Hi, it's Dougie Wood, and welcome to this session all about Microsoft Teams versus SharePoint Online. Now, many businesses are looking to move their daily operations into the cloud, and to do this, they're taking a look at Microsoft 365's products. Now, undoubtedly, you'll then come across two of the most popular collaborational tools, one of which is SharePoint Online, and the other is Microsoft Teams. But how do you know which product you should be using for different activities of your day-to-day work life? So let's take a look. Let's first start by taking a look at Microsoft Teams. So Teams is a business communication and collaboration platform, part of the overall Microsoft 365 range of products. In an increasingly distributed environment where people are working from home as well as in the office in this hybrid approach, Teams will make it much simpler to manage your day-to-day working operations. So taking a look at this is a first example of my Project X team. Now, within this team, you can see there's multiple tabs across the top. So the first three tabs are there by default. We have the post where we can have conversations, whether it be that we're posting announcements about where we're up to with a certain project or that a document has been received. We can even open up the document and collaborate on it directly inside of Teams without ever having to leave the platform. We can also see we've got a files area. So this is where we can actually collaborate and we can work on our documents together with our team members. Now, these might be team members around a particular project, or it could be that this is a department-based team or a business unit. Essentially, it's a grouping of people that are going to be working together. The other tab we've got by default is Wiki. Now, Wiki is a great place to store maybe useful contacts, useful links, or in this case, I've just put in some sample FAQs. Now, this is almost like a knowledge base internally within inside of your team where you can go and put short snippet bits of information. They're really simple and easy to put together, and you can format them with bold, italic, underline, and like any other kind of Word, PowerPoint, or Excel type of Microsoft product. You can also embed tables, imagery, and links to other kind of web pages, for example. There's also the ability to add additional tabs to your team across the top, so you can customize this for your own team's need. So I've added, for example, an Excel file just by clicking on this plus button here, which I'll show you in a second, and then that will then add an Excel document, such as like a rota, so all my team can see this. Basically, we're trying to achieve a one-stop shop where we can have all of our conversations, files, useful information, and documents that we're accessing on a frequent basis, all within one area with our team. So it becomes this one-stop shop for everything we need to do for our daily working activities. We can add more tabs by clicking on this plus button here, and we can add in all sorts of things like Excel documents, and it also integrates a lot of other third-party products. I'm not going to name all of these, but you can see there's things like Box, Jira, there's all sorts of different kind of third-party products and tools that this one natively integrate with. On the left-hand side of my team, you can see that I've got multiple what we call channels. Now, channels are a great way of actually breaking out conversations into specific categories, whether it be, for example, like planning or weekly updates that we might be posting around our projects, or we can even have restricted channels, which means only sub-team members would be able to have access to this. So let's say, for example, there might be 20 Project X team members, but only 3 of those are managers, so would only have access to that. Now, channels not only break out conversations, but they also break out the files as well. So you can see here, the files here are completely different. There's no files here compared to the files area inside my general, because the channel will actually break out the conversation and the files completely into separate areas. Now, I would advise that you probably try and keep your use of Teams channels to around about 5 or 6 at a maximum. I tend to find that if you use any more than that, then whatever you're trying to categorize them with will eventually kind of break down, and people will just default to go back to the general channel anyway. So as you can see, Microsoft Teams is more than just a collaboration platform. It's an all-in-one solution that includes everything from document sharing to online meetings, screen sharing, full telephony, live captioning, and so much more. Furthermore, Microsoft Teams, you can also get an app on Android and iOS devices for it, so it's nice and easy to access all of this same features directly from a mobile device. So in summary, Microsoft Teams is a great collaborational platform. You should be using it for collaborating and sort of working on documents and communicating with people And it's almost like like a department would have this internally to be able to work together on things. So now let's take a look at SharePoint. Now, particularly we're looking here at SharePoint Online, but SharePoint is a Microsoft Office integrated web-based collaboration and document sharing tool. It's been around actually for around about well over 20 years, originally with on-premise versions of SharePoint. When people think of SharePoint, they often think of the old classic versions of SharePoint, which was very slow, clunky, and just didn't look very good. Whereas nowadays, I truly believe that you can build a really eye-catching, engaging platform to build out an intranet, which is basically like an internal website for your employees. Typically, this SharePoint intranet is made up of a combination of not only documents, but news articles, pages of content, useful links, and all the rest of those kind of communication kind of features that you need to run your intranet properly. Here's an example of a SharePoint intranet, and it's using the hub features. So you can see across the top we've got this hub navigation bar, which gives us a nice kind of drop-down feel. The idea of the hub navigation bar is designed to give consistency throughout your whole intranet, because your intranet is actually made up of multiple different SharePoint sites that you're going to move between. We can brand this up with our own colors and logos as well. And as I scroll down the page, you can see there's multiple different types of web parts. So these are news-based web parts pulling out news articles with some dummy content in here. We can also have these call to actions. So typical intranets will point off to things like policies, materials, and forms. You might want to put your mission statement or a key kind of motivational message on the homepage of your intranet as well. We can also pull out news articles from other areas of the intranet, because the intranet's not just one homepage, it's also multiple department sites. You can see here we're pulling out news articles from the IT site, the finance site, and the human resources department sites. We can also have upcoming events. So upcoming events, again, which are created in sub-departmental areas and then rolled up onto the homepage. Now, these don't have to be physical events like sort of recruitment open days and charity fundraisers. They can also be key dates, like when a new app is going to be launched or a new product is coming out. Again, you might want to link off to core areas, policies, procedures, but also things like your environmental commitments is really useful to link off to. On the right-hand side, you can also have useful links. So with this particular type of layout of SharePoint homepage, I should say we can create all sorts of different types of layouts in SharePoint. This is just one example. We've picked this particular layout, so you've got a nice slideshow across the top, and also on the right-hand side, you've got these useful links, which are going off to key areas that often employees will need to quickly find. Things like raising IT support tickets, submitting expense requests, or even jumping directly into the Microsoft Teams area. We can also embed things like quick charts, as well as the latest tweets, videos from YouTube or Stream as well. So it's quite a rich kind of multimedia kind of approach to our homepage. Now, in other areas as well of the intranet, we can also link off to things like departmental sites. So department sites are a great place to showcase information from the department. So the difference really between the Microsoft Teams and SharePoint is that, let's say, for example, marketing, they might have their own team where they can collaborate and work together on files and things like that. But then they also have a SharePoint site where they're communicating information to the wider business. So it might be that they're giving things about who they are, so information about their leadership, their teams, how they work, their vision and priorities and the culture of their department, as well as useful resources, documents, pages, and maybe even FAQs. The homepage would link to certain key areas or news articles. We can also see that we've got a bio section of what the department is and maybe with their responsibilities. Some FAQs again, so we can actually sort of limit the amount of questions maybe that department's getting by pointing people towards some FAQs, as well as some events. Again, these are the same events which we're then pulling up and rolling up onto our intranet homepage. Some useful downloads, some news, and we can also integrate things like Yammer as well as other types of feeds directly onto this department site as well. Other typical things is we can also post in sort of people web parts and org charts as well directly onto the department sites. So to summarize, you should use Microsoft Teams for sort of internal department and team-based collaboration around maybe projects or things that you're working on with inside your own department. And SharePoint is a publishing platform where you can give information to the wider organization And it's not necessarily content you're changing on a day-to-day basis with inside the SharePoint platform, whereas the documents inside of Teams is something that you're updating on a daily basis. Often the confusion around SharePoint in Teams comes from the fact that actually when you create a Microsoft team, it will automatically create you a modern SharePoint Online site with a document library that associates to it, because that's where all the documents you store inside of your team are automatically then being uploaded. So if I just jump back into my team area, when you go into Teams and you click on Files and then you click on Open in SharePoint, that will actually open up the corresponding SharePoint site directly in here. Now, this is still a SharePoint site, but it's a very basic version of a SharePoint site. It's a team SharePoint site, whereas the SharePoint sites we were looking at before are actually called communication sites. However, you can see that all of the files that we created are actually stored within channel-based folders. So if I go into General, you'll see the same files that I see in here as if I was inside of my actual Microsoft team. So if I go into here, it's exactly the same. And that's where a lot of the confusion is caused, because actually Microsoft Teams is like the front end to a SharePoint site. So we'll always store those files in there. Now, 90% of the functionality is exactly the same inside the Microsoft Teams files area as it is inside of SharePoint Online. There's some more advanced stuff that you do have to open up in the SharePoint option for, but for most of your needs, you can do it from the files area of your Microsoft team. I hope you enjoyed that video about Microsoft Teams versus SharePoint Online. Obviously, there is some differences between the two and why you should use one rather than the other. If you do have any questions about using Microsoft Teams or SharePoint, then feel free to reach out to me with any of your questions.